Hi, I'm Keegan, and this is A Bunch of Gamers. This is our 199th episode of Werewolf the Apocalypse 20th Anniversary Edition, Civil Unrest. I'm going to go around and have my players introduce themselves.
I'm Tyler, and I play Kyle, also known as Guards the Low. He's a Philodox of the Children of Gaia.
Hi, I'm Sam. I play Cora. She's an Aruna in the Get of Fenris.
Hi, I'm Adam. I play Mark Guides the Fallen, and he's a Thurge of the Children of Gaia.
Hi, I'm Sean. I play Zeb Speaks-in-Sweet-Whispers. He is a Theurge of the Silent Striders.
Hello, my name is Riley, and I am playing Dimitri Howls-In-Memory, Lupus Galliard of the Bone Gnawers.
Hi, my name is George. I am playing William Grows-Matrices. He is a Arun of the Glasswalkers.
Last time, the Pax attacked several key members of the police department and Colorado Springs government across the city as a way to start shifting focus away from the kin and the Garou themselves, trying to make it look like homegrown civil unrest. The Pax then went to New York to celebrate Stephen Town Hall's birthday, where they got into some mayhem, spent time with Shadow Dagger to gain information before returning to the Sept. Now the Pax must think on how to spread this civil unrest, to create 100 fires, to split the attention of the United States government and the good doctor, potentially, as a way to let them move more freely as the coming apocalypse quickly approaches. Alright, it's been about 3 days since last session. Heal 3 points of willpower if you have willpower to heal. Heal 1 point of Gnosis if you have Gnosis to heal. It is November the 13th. What's the plan? What are you guys looking to do?
If we want to try to keep pressure off of this city, which is now exploding, I think Guards the Low is onto something of trying to find another spot that might be better. Otherwise, there's some other information I'd like to get at least before we leave and try to put some things in motion, but what say you all?
I think the less pressure on the city, the better.
Alright then, let's find a couple places, travel there, spend maybe a week figuring out who exactly it is we should kill and in what manner, and maybe do a repeat performance of what we've done here.
You all know that Cleveland had a Sept that was a bit weaker than one would expect, given the cultural hub of it. However, it was closed after Black Spiral Dancers put too much pressure on it, and the Garou who did not die or flee, or the Garou have either died or fled from that area. That is one possibility where you do not have to worry about Garou. The other thing, as you all know, is a big thing that is weak with weakened Karens are suburbs. Suburbs don't have the same kind of cultural cachet and time to develop urban Karens, and they are too devoid of nature and too new that they suck the life out of natural Karens. So those are good places to hit, if need be.
What we go after? Banks, insurance companies, venture capitalist firms, things that don't actually provide a service, they just leech off of the people and would be a good focus to show social and societal unrest. So we target a whole bunch of folks associated with that in addition to the locations they operate from. And in this instance, the law enforcement portion of it is more collateral than the primary. If we gave ourselves enough time, the Glasswalkers could maybe try to come up with some aid, some kind of massive unattributable cyber attack. But outside of that, it might just be physical actions that we take to, again, take from those and give to those that don't have. And to that end, you get more people to buy in to what the heck you're doing, because there's still poor people in suburbs, they just live in shittier ones. We're better at smashing and grabbing though, so we might as well make a list of things to smash, grab, and burn down. And we can be quick about going to that place and doing that.
I mean, we were just joking about it, but definitely consideration. What if, like, as cartoonish as it sounds, what if we were to rob a bank? Just add it to the list. Something to add.
No, I
think we robbed more than one.
Yeah. And then we could give that money to, like, our kin or local kin. Something like that. Make it untraceable, of course, through the help of our Glasswalker friends.
I mean,
Yeah,
or just give money to people.
Yeah, the untraceable
It's just-
part would be hard, I think, no matter what, because maybe we could
Banknotes
just
have
kinda-
serial numbers, so
Well, right.
throw it out to everyone to make sure that there wasn't a group being targeted with it.
Oh, yeah.
Well, yeah. If you wanted to get after something, what we are doing in some cases is if you make cash strong, we're not laundering it, you just make cash strong by stealing from it and giving it out to people. You are strengthening, if you wanted to go that route, you are strengthening certain spirits that we are aligned to, that were very much in favor of cash over credit, and something that we had a devastating loss for. So if you want to make that spooky threat underneath it, go right ahead, but the big part of this is steal money, give to people that don't have money, cause problems, let's get the hell out of here.
I dig that. Simple as.
But I think that's a good idea for... We could probably stratify the areas, so if Cleveland is a good option for the bank robberies, then we hit it with that, and then the next suburb we find, that's where we do insurance companies or financiers or what have you, so that these are less likely to be tied to one moving group.
Yeah.
Maybe
But-
some good old vandalism, too. Who knows?
I mean, we could just make it harder for them to process the payments, so that way they're backed up and it allows some breathability for the people.
I suspect the opposite would happen, but I still think it might work out for us. Because if those payments are blocked, delayed, and the bank is shitty about it, then they're just going to charge late fees to all these people who did try to pay on time. That being said, that's kind of what we're going for. So
Right. And
get a bunch of people mad at the banks.
get them out of the banks, get them mad at the mortgage lenders or the mortgage brokers.
Okay.
Get them mad at the legal system, because that's going to turn into a class action, possibly, for something that's out of their control. Why are they getting charged this stuff? So there's a lot that can happen just by attacking banks and the mortgage brokers or lenders. Not to mention who can afford a home. So
True.
I think we're missing an undercurrent on this, right? Which is why we want to focus ourselves. The U.S. is at war that they're losing. So fuck up a bunch of banks, take a bunch of money, give it to people, burn down and blow up a bunch of other businesses, and just create mass societal unrest. We're trying to create societal unrest. That's going to get some people's face busted in, which is going to happen. But what it's going to do too is require attention of the military elsewhere. And that's the point. So like those are all long-term things, but I would say think about one thing. We don't have a lot of time. Like, we're running out of runway. So like, if the mortgage market collapses, it probably will. $5 trillion already fell off the market, right? So like, we create a run on banks because people now don't think their cash is secure after a bunch of poors already got their bag. That's a thing we want.
So, using jam technology at a power junction is not out of the question.
Fucking do whatever you want. Like, okay, but at the end of the day, cash is going to be removed from a place and given to other things, and we're trying to encourage the fact that like the have-nots will have, and we want the haves to panic.
yeah,
Then I want to do that. I want
So
to
then-
jam a power junction.
then let's just hit a couple banks in the surrounding locations.
And I mean, absolutely. I mean, you small case scenario, Adam. Like, you jam technology a freaking ATM and rip it out and just like throw money onto the street. Like, do that a lot.
I like that idea too.
All right, so with all that discussion, you going to Cleveland, going to a different suburb. Where are we going to do the run on the banks?
See, I like the idea of like the separation of stuff. We do like at a Cleveland suburb, we knock over a few banks, and then we move on to a different city's suburb, do a different plan there, and then move on to another city's suburb. And then of course this would like, be Garou-less. We don't have to worry about Karen's kin, so on and so forth.
Yeah, so let's have someone, let's have William talk to some of the Denver Garou, see if there is a suburb in Denver that meets the criteria, where they don't have kin that they can push some focus onto, and we'll choose that as one of our locations. We've got Cleveland. Cleveland makes sense, I think, as a to hit the banks at. It's a pretty big city. We should have many options.
The Federal Reserve Bank of Cleveland.
Ooh.
Smart.
All right, William, you learn that there's several that do kind of fall under that. That includes Arvada, especially. Broomfield falls under that as well. Littleton. All these places are suburbs that there might be national parks, but they are mostly man-made parks at this point. There's also Aurora, but Aurora does have some kin there. Most of the kin are either in Denver proper or Lakewood, and some are in Aurora as well, given the lower housing prices. But Aurora also is primed for heat because the US government is constantly sending in federal agents there to harass the city, as it does not bend to the current administration's will regarding policy.
I'll pass along the information, and I think the last one is the one that we should probably hit to cause the most civil unrest. But then again, it might already have the most civil unrest.
This might be one of those cases where just by, inflaming things in the surrounding areas, that will go up. That will go up on its own.
Yeah.
So let's hit the ones that have the fewest news articles about them this week.
That'd be Arvada.
Fewest protests or something.
That's
okay.
That's prime WASP territory.
Then that's the one we'll choose.
Cool. Bunch of people who like to claim to be farmers, but, hire out all the work to helping hands who don't even live in the suburb. So, you're gonna go to Arvada. How are you gonna start doing your civil unrest?
Water treatment, power distribution, and maybe fuck up a couple gas stations. And essential services are all of a sudden done for. And we make sure we kill the people that try to fix it, and at that point they feel cut off because they're not getting the things that they need. Would be my suggestion. Because, you destroy a grocery store, fine. They'll die. People die. Now you take out power, people also die. But again, essential services, sewer, water, electric, those things start to piss people off. And then we destroy some things that would deny access to other people in certain areas. And then see what happens if the response is too slow, which it ought to be because the military is getting the priority right now.
Yeah.
And that's the message we spread, is that the people are being ignored while essential services are down because the military is taking it all. That'd be my angle.
Okay. So how about we sabotage a water treatment plant? Arvada's got to have one.
Arvada
Weren't you
has
saying
a
you
water
wanted to
treatment
blow
plant
up?
and an electrical, and they have utilities. They have water mains controlled by the city. They have a sewage treatment plant. There is, of course, a power plant as well.
I think if you go after a water treatment plant that has sewage then contaminate drinking water, then you've created a problem.
Okay. We'll go with that then.
But you're more than welcome to blow up a power plant.
Or even a transformer. I mean, you can take down power, like they have to respond, right? So like causing them to have multiple responses, like dilemmas, that's a really good idea. But that just means like you're ripping down power poles, which is great. Like, why the fuck not?
Oh, I could.
It's very supernatural though, right? So that's not protecting the veil. It doesn't look like terrorists did something like that. So if you find a way that like civil unrest would call power lines to be ripped down, great. But like power generating like boosters, yes. And the power and the water treatment center, absolutely.
So
remember Tyler's piece about, or Guards the Low's point that we want it to look like, people banded together.
Ripping out, it doesn't have to look like it ripped out. We can have a Krynos just tackle an electric pole and it'll look like a car.
Actually drive cars into them. That looks like crazy people do stuff like that, but like it works, right?
Yeah. So I guess I'll pose that out there. That's what I would like to do. Hit the water treatment plant and then kind of small take a car, ram an electric pole, stuff like that.
All right, how are you going to prepare for this? I'm just going to go around the horn. So let's start with Zebulon. How are you going to prep for this?
All right, so we're already gonna be in Denver. Very likely. I mean, Zeb's going to be the one that's going to stealth into this location, right? It'll probably be him going from the Umbra into it. So, activate kind of normal stealth gifts in addition to, a few combat pieces to be ready to destroy some stuff. But honestly, a lot of it will be just getting access to the things that we need to get while the heavies kind of rack shit up. And honestly, it won't be until I get there where I can really see if there's anything that they could do elsewise. That's the biggest amount of prep, is knowing where we're going. And then Keegan, I'll tell you for spirit channel which one I'm gonna channel for that. That'll be the only prep. And then there's a phone call I want to make, but we can do that after this attack.
Okay. Riley, what are you doing prep wise to try and take out this kind of stuff?
I think Dimitri is going to focus on getting everyone transportation so we can get to the power plant. And then just having call the rust ready for this, basically destroying or corroding anything made of metal that will throw a big wrench into everything.
All right, how about you, Kyle?
I think I'd like to work with Dimitri, hit House Incorporated, steal a few of the pickup trucks that they have available for rent, and use those either to drive into the plant or to get ourselves around.
Do you have any fake IDs? Because they do take your IDs when you...
Oh, we're stealing them.
Oh, you're stealing. Got it. Understood.
Yeah, straight up stealing them.
My misunderstanding. Okay. Cora, what are you doing prep-wise?
I guess I'll just try and help people, or the groups, wherever muscle is needed.
I was going to ask if you wanted to help Dimitri and Kyle beat up the poor House Incorporated attendants when we steal the trucks.
Sure. If they need beating up, then sure. I highly doubt, though, that they're going to risk their neck.
Probably not, but, just in case.
But I'll be there.
Cora can carry, 1-2 cars on her shoulders? That's like 3 cars.
Yeah, she can definitely just truck along and pull him behind her.
All right.
Well, we can hit it at night, steal, like when it's closed, steal the keys, steal the trucks. All three of us, with 3 of us, we can each take one, and then use them that night before they know they're stolen.
Wouldn't they have an alarm system?
We got magic. Do your things.
Do and drive.
Like we can, if we have to, we can use the Umbra to get inside the building, get the keys, Umbra out, take truck, or jam technology, or
yeah, we have magic.
You people. Deal with people.
I don't have magic. They have magic.
Cool. William, what are you doing prep-wise?
I want to do something technological, just to shore up some of the things that might have been forgotten. Whether it's trying to be a bit more subtle about it up front, so they give us a bit more time on the back end to get things done, or to just completely mess with the inner workings of any sort of motherboards. I know that's hardware. I'm spacing on the actual term that I'm trying to find, but just mess with the code so that way it's harder for them to fix anything that would get fucked up.
Got it. All right, so speaking from my own background, what you can do is try and hack into their GitLab for how their system, like how their program basically handles, software, like power delivery or the sewage treatment plant or whatever, because that all runs on software. And it is in a repo. What you do is, a few days before, make sweeping code changes, or like the night before, whatever, right? Do sweeping code changes that will break the system, but not brick the code immediately, right? So it doesn't break on delivery. Then you hack into their pipeline and you release the new version of the code without them knowing about it. You hack the YAML file so that it essentially erases and overrides a previous version number, so it's harder to find. You do a bunch of destructive shit They're focused on that, trying to get it back up. And once they have the systems back up, they will deploy the broken version of the code. And that will be, even though everything is physically fixed in the facilities, the software is still broken and nothing is running properly. And then they have to work days at a time to try and fix that.
I'll do that as well, or I'll do that then.
Okay, perfect. And so let's have you roll. The initial roll is going to be Intelligence Computers Diff 9.
Okay.
You not only hack it, you hack and spoof their lead developer's GitHub name. Now, to make it super subtle so that they only a lead developer would be able to see the problem in the code, that is a Diff 9 roll. If it's a developer who's about mid-level, that is a Diff 8 roll. And then like a junior dev is a Div 6 roll. It'll still take time, obviously, from everyone looking at it. But each one will change how many people can start looking for it at any given time to try and sort through their code to find the issue. So the difficulty is up to you.
You said 6, 8, or 9?
Yep.
Okay. And it was the same role, intelligence computer?
Correct.
Okay. Well, let's go broke. Let's do 9.
Alright, you break it in several ways, subtle enough that it would take a lead developer to figure out what the fuck is happening. So, you do that, you're able to push it out. This doesn't require a roll. You're able to push out these changes, you're able to upgrade or update things, but you'll do that on the night of the raid. Because that way no one catches it ahead of time when a new version is pushed through the pipeline, because that can get caught. Alright, Mark, what are you doing prep-wise for this raid stuff?
I would have consulted a wind spirit, a local wind spirit. So after I have jammed technology on the big processing vats that are typically outside of the plant itself, where all the bad water is, so the process of them getting cleaned stops. Mm-hmm. The bacteria and all that start forming their really nasty smell that the sewer treatment plants are known for. And then at my command, the wind just carries that smell all across suburbia of Arvada.
Okay, that'll be a roll at the time, and you'll probably want a gaffling because it's just making a small wind. You don't need a higher functioning spirit for that, I would think. So, with that, Dimitri, Cora, Kyle, you get to House Incorporated. You see everything's closed up. Anyone got gifts to open things?
I've got the gift of breaking a door down.
I only have a gift that would probably disintegrate the door if it's made out of metal.
Part of it is, the other part is glass.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, that sounds sick, though.
It does.
Honestly, yeah, I've been waiting to use this gift for a while.
Go for it.
Yeah, so I'm going to activate Call the Rust and corrode the door.
Alright.
And it's so I spend a point in Gnosis and roll Wits and Crafts. And then the amount of metal affects the difficulty. It says a gun or knife is difficulty 6 and a car is diff 8.
Alright, so the amount of metal is probably a little more than a gun, so I guess so we'll go with diff 7.
Okay. 3 successes.
The metal rusts away and the glass hits the ground and shatters.
Beautiful. And I guess we just go in.
You guys go in?
Yep.
Alright. As you go, you're all masked up, I assume.
Yeah.
Yes.
All
of course.
We're not completely dumb.
So you guys go, collect some keys, and start driving off. You get ready to hit things. As you guys go to collect your companions, William, now you start typing out the code, you get everything out, you commit to GitHub, you push out a new release, overriding the release number. Or no, you get the code committed because everyone's gone, and you're ready, you have the button ready to release the code with the release number override for when things start getting destroyed. After a 2-hour drive, you guys are in Arvada, middle of the night. So we'll just go around the horn. So let's start with old Unky Zeb.
All right, and I'm guessing this place, like a barbed wire fence, simple gigs. It's a water treatment plant, right? This is not it's not Fort Knox. It's just
exactly. It's the keep out, please don't die in our shit treatment plant, please. It's real gross and it's real horrifying when someone dies.
Right. What's the other side of the Umbra look like from here?
A little gross, like a couple veins popping around, things like that, given the sheer amount of human fecal matter, but not a lot because it's being cleansed as well. It's mostly spider silk. It looks actually like a natural environment in the Umbra, but you just see it overlaid with these cocoons of spider silk, as not a lot here really has any sort of strong spiritual impression.
Are there any electrical stations that are close to this? And I guess what I mean, those transformers they have on the ground and junk like that.
There certainly is, yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna move toward those, and the first thing that I will do will be I will use short out to roll my gnosis to have electrical circuits blow out in the area.
Perfect. You blow the shit out of those circuits. As they start going off, several blocks worth kind of just start shorting out, breaking near the sewer treatment plant. Everything starts to die down. Mark, could we get a Wits Rituals roll? Diff 4, please. Actually, roll your Gnosis first. Diff, I think it's 8 for the suburbs. Let me double check. No, average city street is 7, so it's Diff 7. Roll your Gnosis, Diff 7, Mark. All right. 30 seconds, and you're able to contact your mind to the other side of the Umbra. Now do Wits Rituals, Diff 4, please. A spirit of the wind arrives instantaneously, wisping and breezing this way and that. Its voice is the soft, gentle touch upon your face as it asks why it has been called.
I've summoned you to perform just a simple task for me. While you wait, but at my command, I just need a simple breeze. That's it. Over towards that direction, and he'll point towards the various suburbs off at the horizon.
Where the majority of the homes are.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. The spirit agrees.
How many days would you wish for the breeze?
2 days for 2 spheres of my gnosis.
I will take it up gracefully.
As the spirit moves through your body and pulls the 2 that you offer. Next, Kyle, Dimitri, Cora, what are we doing with these cars?
I was under the impression that we're ramming them into power lines, right?
Power lines or the building itself. If there's this is something I don't know about this particular water treatment plant. Like if it has outside tanks of any kind.
We're gonna say yes for the sake of Mark's plan.
Okay, then yeah, we can have 3 targets, and when we're on site, just whichever looks the most appetizing.
Alrighty.
Sounds good.
Roll a d10 to see who draws the short straw of crashing into the worst tank.
6.
You might be. Dysentery is the thing. Alright, Cora. I need a dexterity drive. Diff 6. Success or failure means you still hit it, but you get a little wet, a little sludgy. As your car smashes into the tank, and you're able to get out just fast enough as this horrid smelling ooze leaks over the car. Everything.
Nice.
All right, Kyle, which target are you going for?
I guess one of the clean tanks, if there's one.
There is. You smash into it, you run away, as the water spills everywhere, as the fresh drinking water kind of spills out. And Dimitri, what is your target? Are you going to go for a power line somewhere further down to cause a wider blackout, or?
I'm thinking maybe a power line or a power junction.
Oh, perfect. There is a power junction.
All right. Yeah, we'll go for that. Pedal to the metal.
All right. Dex drive, please. Diff 8.
4 successes.
God damn. As you smash through and you duck and roll just as the right time as the car breaks through the metal fence, keeps going and smashes into the power junction at full force as a blast of electricity and sparks shoots in all directions, sending sparks in every which way as some of the sparks are hitting some of the drier grasses and a small fire is starting up. Do you want to put the fire out or let it go?
I'm gonna put the fire out.
All right, you put the fire out. That answer was really up in the air. All right, and then finally, William, you push your stuff. The build goes out in the middle of the night as power is going down. Everything's in complete disarray, and it will be for some time.
Awesome.
All right. So, what are we doing next?
Well, before we leave here, since I've blown out all the circuits in multiple blocks, definitely going to rob an ATM machine for cash, and then I think we carry on our merry way east. Correct? Are we going back home, or we keep going?
I thought we were headed to Cleveland.
Yeah.
Right.
I think jam technology is not needed here, so Mark will give his command for the gaffling to start blowing.
Sounds good. Gafflin starts blowing.
Then I'll also call the rust in a number of places to make it look neglected.
All right. Yeah. So it'll look inevitable. All right. Perfect. Let's get. How many times do you want to make that roll, Dimitri?
I'll go with 2.
2. All right. Do you want to do about a gun's worth of metal or about a door's worth of metal?
Oh, let's go for a door's worth.
All right. Those are diff 7 rolls. Make 2 of them.
All right.
As
There we
several
go.
key
1 and
components.
3.
Yeah, a couple of key components start to rust through. One of the pipes starts to crack a bit as the rust opens, and it's just dribbling raw sewage, drop after drop, before it even gets into the big tanker, as it looks corroded away. All right, and so you guys start heading east, is what it sounds like, yeah?
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Cool. Stealing another car, or...
I'm leaning towards stealing another car.
Alrighty.
Cool. Can I get a charisma or manipulation, whichever's higher, larceny check from whoever has the highest die pool? It is Kyle. Paragon of Virtue.
Oh, yeah. Oh, sorry. No, it's 5. It's 5, not 6.
Tied with Zeb.
But do you have larceny though?
I do have a dot of larceny.
Yeah,
yes.
then you take it.
And we're stealing a car.
That's what I'm hearing, yeah.
Okay. All right, and I'll use Beyond Human to boost my charisma to 7, and have an 8 die pool.
Hell yeah.
What's the difficulty, sir?
Diff 6.
Good enough.
Good enough. As you steal the car and you guys start heading off. All right, and so you guys heading to Cleveland, or is that the goal, or are we hitting just other cities along the way?
I think we should just hit Cleveland. I don't want to...
Yeah, if we hit things in a line, that's pattern analysis.
Yeah.
True.
And I'm with you there.
All right.
The only other thing we could do is if we were driving through another suburb that in Denver that we were going to hit, because that is not a line. That's unrelated incidents in 2 cities, if that makes sense.
I think it makes sense. But...
I think we could do that after.
Sure, that's also fine. We have to
Or
come
just
back
or just
eventually.
come back and hit this place again.
That works. Yeah.
Cool. All right, it's about a 20-hour drive. You taking shifts, or to get there as quickly as possible, or are you gonna just do 2 days?
We have 2 drivers, don't we?
That's what I asked. Are you gonna take it in shifts or do it over 2
Well,
days?
no, I meant like we have 2 people that know how to drive.
Actually have dots. I believe so.
Yeah, I
I
have 2.
Yeah, I think we have like 4 players that know how to, or 4 characters that know how to drive.
Okay.
Because Howls-In-Memory can drive too, right? Or is it just work on cars? Yeah, so I think they have 4 of us. 4 out of 6 can drive.
Cool. Wasn't sure if how
So let's
soon...
take shifts.
Okay, you'll take shifts. Okay. Cool. So you take shifts and you get there in basically at night. Roughly the same, a little later than what you when you left, just because of time zone shifts. So it is November the 15th. Before you make that trek, Zeb, I believe you wanted to do something as well.
I do. So I guess on a morning shift, when I'm not driving, when I'm riding shotgun, I will spend 2 Gnosis to activate my phone. Place a call. Actually, since she's called me, I will merely have the spirit return the call along the same line to contact one Dr. Jillian Appleton.
The phone rings for a bit, close to when it would go to message before it finally opens and you hear the drowsy, hello?
Hey, we should get together. I'm glad you're still alive.
Yeah.
Take a vacation. Head east. Go somewhere nice. I'll try to run into you.
Sure thing. As you hear the composure starting to come back and kind of the icy steel of her voice return.
The next week work for you?
It should. I should be free next week.
I'd say just go for a nice drive. I'll run into you at some point.
Sure. I do like
Route
centers
66.
of learning. Route 66. Very well. I do like centers of learning.
Me too. I'm glad we have something in common. I thought it was just the sex.
There was nothing common about that.
I mean it in all sincerity. Be safe. Keep an eye out. See you on the road.
See you there. Alright, as you're now in Cleveland, it's the middle of the night, and at least you're all probably tired, as sitting in a car for 20 hours is not comfortable. Ever.
Yeah.
I know that from personal experience.
So we should probably find somewhere to sleep.
We could just get a motel or hotel or something.
Or Dimitri could always use
The cardboard palace, right?
Fine.
Could you have used that in the car?
No, not really.
Shame.
William, we can't live in the lap of luxury all the time.
I'm not going to apologize for my living conditions.
Just think of it as camping,
Yeah?
but in a box instead of a tent. And look, here's this big one. There's plenty of room.
I don't know why you're complaining when I'm footing the bill to let you guys have a proper night's sleep.
I'm not complaining. I'm saving you a little bit of money.
And the box is right here. Who knows where that hotel is?
Let's just get some sleep before I get angry.
Alright, as you all crawl into the cardboard box and sleep, it's actually quite comfortable. It is like being in a hotel.
Keegan, I will make a roll for blissful ignorance while we're here, in the event that we are being pursued, and I have 3 successes on that roll.
Perfect. Alright, this is a bit of a bigger job, right? So, what is the plan?
Are banks usually connected hardlined into the internet, or is it wireless?
It's hardline and they're all behind VPNs.
Well, I was asking, like, if we were to cut the cable, then they can't necessarily communicate to a security company or something. So that way, if they do get hit, it's not going to be broadcasted to a third party. So it gives us more time to be any.
They have treasury agent security and like federal police officers, right? So
yeah, all the time.
So this is going to be wet work, not entirely. That could be part of it, but right, this is going to be a little bit more combative than what we did when we were unopposed.
And the cameras that they've got will likely be routed somewhere where they are being watched off-site. So any disruption would be noticed immediately. Or as fast as a human would notice the disruption.
And if you cut the internet line to it, it'd be all the cameras at once.
Yes.
So, okay. Do we want to keep going down my line of thinking? Because, like, we could hit a internet junction. I'm sure there's switchboards and whatnot for internet that could it would shut them down, but it would shut the whole area down too. So it wouldn't look nearly as bad, which would, still be a bit suspicious and put them on a higher alert. But I don't know.
I get what you're talking about, a diversion.
Yeah.
If we're gonna occupy the attention of like this thing is happening, then whatever direction that we enter from at that point, they're reacting to something completely different. No. I don't think you're wrong there. There's probably a couple things that we could try to do as part of a diversion if it's just weird, dumb problems. But right, that's not going to stop like additional security. It's just going to have them thinking that something else is happening.
I mean, we could also hit hospitals nearby power, not necessarily take out the generators, but it would at least divert some of the response times or responding units elsewhere.
I mean, remember what we're here to steal money from this place, right?
Yeah, I'm just thinking of.
No, I like your idea for the internet. I think it could be taken a step further. If the power to this block goes down and the internet goes down, they're going to think those two things are tied together, even though they might not actually be. Gives us a little more time to play with what's going on. A little more diversion, a bigger diversion that doesn't go away with one solution, right? Because their generators, they may have generators at the Federal Reserve, I don't know. If they do, that'll bring back their power, but not their internet.
Mm-hmm.
Right. No, and I think it is a good idea because VoIP phones, regular outside line, like hardwire, whatever they've got, and then what we're also dealing with then is like FM, like just normal radio type communication, right? So like you're hitting 2 out of the 3. And the third one we can take care of with other stuff. So I get what you're putting down, GG. Okay, so that's a part. The second part, I guess, is assessing the strength of the gauntlet, which is probably 10. Of how we try to cross over from if we would try to cross over from the physical world to suddenly appear in there or actually break in.
9. It's diff 9.
Okay.
For other important federal buildings that we've seen and we've interacted with, how much spiritual protection did they generally have? Was there any? Some?
There are some. This place has a pretty strong spiritual presence given the importance placed on it, which means there are gafflings and jagglings of America the Beautiful, or Murica, depending on the phase of the spirit at any given time, as its identity is constantly shifting with the ideals of the nation.
There's something to that. I'm trying to figure out what it is, Tyler, based on your question, because if our Galliard is regaling with lovely patriotic songs the spirits of this place, whether to bolster or distract them, depending on how we'd use that to our advantage, is what I'm trying to think about. Because there's probably something there that we could do, at least so their attention is elsewhere as this move were to happen. As we executed this move, it changes it changes kind of just the manifestation of this building for us to have maybe an easier way in and out, or an easier way to exploit it. I'm just trying to think of how.
I mean, I don't know.
Other than duping them into letting us in.
Sure. Yeah, I mean, there's the old bank robberies are good, actually, tactic, where we talk about how bank robberies are a fundamental part of the Wild Wild West, which is part of what America is built on. We'd have to get a little more than just that, I'm sure, but...
It's almost like you're making a deal with them to become a legendary spirit talked about everywhere because of a great tale they're about to be a part of, and they just have to act out their part.
Right, like a Bonnie and Clyde style story.
Right. It's just selling it with a mighty Galliard to essentially tell the story of a play while we act it out. And if he does that, there might be enough there between bringing down some of the static portions of the Weaver through William's actions, and a hell of a good tale and distraction by the best Galliard at Colorado Springs, Colorado. Take that for what it's worth, to maybe open the way for us to at least make a way in to pull this off. And if it's merely actors in the tale, maybe there's an easier way for us to pull this off.
I think I'm following along with the idea.
Which means we'd be doing this as more of a ritual to then allow for a small group of people to go in to commit a heist. And then whatever the hell else we do to burn it down would be pretty amazing. But, it'd be a spectacular heist to show the ineptitude of the reduced faith in the government while believing in America. That'd be... There's your massive spiritual change. Love America, hate your government.
Think about where the America is right now in the current zeitgeist of the game only.
Well, and that's why we're in the the heartland of America to appeal to its baser views. And yes, a nation at war. Yes. So to that point, it's going to have more of a fashy feel maybe to this play as we're removing the wealth from the idiot plebs to make sure the war machine continues. But be that as it may, we'd still be stealing the money. Or, we just fight our way into it. Either way.
I mean, I'm down to get my hands dirty. I just want to give us a bit of time on the back end to do more of it. So if doing this ritual,
we could take the time at least to try to do some of this to perhaps weaken its umbral defenses to make the way in easier. That would be what we want to do, Keegan.
Okay. You could always lie to those spirits too, I guess.
Well, that's kind of part of this. It's not the truth. It's just appealing to them and being extremely charismatic about it.
Yeah.
I mean, or it's a dumb idea, but there'll only be 6 of us.
Yeah. Could work, be difficult, especially because those are spirits of that bank as well, so they have a vested interest in protecting it.
Right.
And given how important the bank is for Cleveland, you would be pissing off the city father of the city. Just as an FYI too, that you'd know that as well.
Right. We're kind of doing a Sound of Music, We're singing to the Nazis while the people escape. This is what we're trying to do. It may or may not work.
I'm just trying to think of a way to phrase it. I have no idea how to phrase it in a way that kind of spirits reflecting this fictional fascist government would probably understand or appreciate.
But the point is that we think it's feasible. I have a concept of a plan, but if we decide, I have a concept of a plan. If we decide to try to do something like that, I guess I forgot Cora Two-Hearts with the mightiest Gnosis pool in her pack currently, because poor Mark has had to spend his XP judiciously elsewhere while she pumped the Gnosis. I honestly think that it could be Mark and Zeb and Dimitri, composing and performing over a period of time, pick your fascist nation's anthems that you sing that are all our glorious nation, off to do whatever to kill the other people and do it gooder. And do it for kind of a prolonged period of time to show how stalwart we are, and perhaps divert enough attention for a robbery to occur. Would be my baseline thought to this. Now, once all the alarms go off and all that shit, then we're using our combat gifts to kind of do the rest, because then we might be fighting our way out. But at least the initial in is a heck of a lot easier. Maybe.
I'm not against this. I'll gladly help Dimitri perform something.
Yeah. So what I'd say Howls-In-Memory composes the appropriate awkward, gross, fascist anthem that hopefully all of us with our charisma performance roles can sing in a good tune, mightily. Many stanzas, many verses, extolling the virtues of these spirits. And I will name the spirit to know the names of the spirits that are here, so we can sing about them too. And maybe we get some people's attention. And then if William is bringing down certain, at least electronic things that are going down at that point in time, then the 3 of you can make your strike while we just keep it going. Because alarm spirits and shit will go off after a period of time, right? And then we're fighting our way out. What do y'all think?
I think it sounds fun. Why the hell not?
yeah, honestly, it sounds like a blast out of character, and in character just sounds good to me too. Sounds like we're gonna Ocean's 11 this thing.
I was just about to comment. I heard the Ocean's, insert number here for franchise heist planning music. So.
All right. Sounds like a heist.
Let me roll Name the Spirit for you, Howls-In-Memory, to give, or fucking out of character. Zeb doesn't roll dice. Let me roll for Name the Spirit, and then that will give you at least a couple names, and then Riley, you can roll for maybe creating something, and then we can roll to perform it. And if we riff, maybe part of our performance is like give us the general outline, and then when we're like singing about our mighty workers shall be triumphant as the peasants of our enemy weep, whatever, you've got it. All right, so I'll just give him names of spirits, Keegan.
You give him names of spirits
and attributes about them. The mighty age of so and so, the mighty iron will of this.
Sounds good. Yep. You got all that. All right, Dimitri.
All right. Then, what am I rolling to come up with the performance?
I would just do charisma performance.
Oh, duh. Okay.
Well, is that to compose it too?
I guess it'd be to compose it. Yeah, it would be both because you're using a charisma because you use that to figure out what kind of heartstrings you pull and things like that.
Right. Awesome.
Okay, yeah.
Diff 8 though, because they are not. All right, we'll go Diff 7 because of Zeb's naming and things like that.
Okay. I was also gonna add. I'll focus on the patriotic or nationalistic attributes of the different spirits as well.
Sounds good.
1 success.
They are kind of on board, but they'll give some hints of where things are. They give you kind of like a floor plan based on that inspiration, but they mostly want to now witness the tale and the greatness. They do not want to be privy to it or a part of it.
Well, I guess we'll pretend like we're going to hope that we perform really, really good then.
So what are we doing?
Well, based off of what Howls-In-Memory has written, I think we'll look to perform it.
Okay.
Cora's player pointed out rightly that her pool is particularly high for this. So again, however we split it, I was thinking theaters originally, but I think those folks with particularly high performance can go ahead and do it, while maybe it is Mark and Kyle and William execute the move here.
William let's just doors open for him.
Right. And if Cora is choreographing this while others are singing, this could work out okay.
Yeah.
For just a little more on this, I think you can enter the Federal Reserve building, so it might make sense. Like you're just allowed to, as in it's not totally locked down. So if the two of you start out there, I'm basically not useful in the base execution. I could of course dazzle people, but we need someone to actually take out the internet and power, so I suppose I can physically do that.
Yeah.
Okay.
While you're all actually doing the heist stuff.
And then I have a gift for intrusion where I can literally just walk through doors. They open for me.
Right.
All right.
So I'll come after the internet and power are out. I will, go back and see if there's anything I can do to help on the outside. But
all right.
I mean, you could be a pair of arms to carry the bags of cash we'll be bringing back.
Yeah, if I can get there in time, basically.
Yeah.
Then yes, I will join for that.
Sounds good. All right, so I'll start with the distraction. Cora, charisma performance or dexterity performance because you're dancing, right?
Yeah.
And you'll get one bonus die for Dimitri singing. You'll get some moral support because Zeb's joining in.
Nice. Okay. 2, 9, Lord. Standard diff?
Diff 7.
Diff 7, sorry.
Pretty good dance.
Yeah?
Pretty good dance. All right, as you're You're dancing, you're doing your distractions, the story's trying to be told. Alright, back on the other side of things, you guys are going through the Federal Reserve building. Normally in the areas that, civilians are allowed to be in. Kyle, you break off to get to the security room. Could I get a manipulation stealth, please?
Oh, I thought I was taking out the internet and power outside the building, for the block.
Oh, I see. Then, yeah, go do that. So same thing, though, to not get noticed.
Okay.
But we'll give you a bonus die.
Could you hit me with that diff again?
7.
And I'm going to spend a willpower.
Super successful. As you're able to do it, no one notices you, as the power of the block just goes out right then and there. Dimitri, William, you're walking through the building as all the lights go off. Red lights of the backup power comes on. You hear various bankers and federal agents starting to get on higher alert. What is the plan now?
Rush for the safe area.
Okay, you rush for that. I need your gift to activate.
Yep, I am trying to get it up now. It's diff 7. Gnosis roll. 4. Let's see. So it doesn't matter the successes. It's only for 1 minute every single time.
Okay, so you guys start running. Can I get from the lower of the two, Dex Athletics for how fast you're running?
That's a 7 from me.
I've got 6.
So
I'm at a 10.
Dimitri's the slowest one.
6.
Mark, you'll probably want to activate jam technology, as there is a backup power generator as you're moving towards the cameras.
I will do that, and that is a manipulation craft stiff set. Woo!
Alright, as the cameras start shutting off, you guys start running, and you do get to the safe just in time before the lockdown gift deactivates. Alright, Zebulon.
Alright, there are 3 spirit gifts I'm kind of channeling here. Short out, control electrical systems, and then blast. I'm not going to use blast. I'll do short out first. 5 successes on short out for blowing circuits. And then recognizing that this is a pretty high complexity system here for control electrical systems, it's a difficulty. It's based on the essentially the complexity of the systems, ranging from 3 to 9. What's the complexity of, you say, with the systems in their vicinity? I've blown out quite a few of them at that point, but
I would
tell
say
these guys out.
Yeah, I'd say that some of them are some pretty complicated, so I'll go diff 8.
I'm targeting communications inside that are like radio frequencies, whatever. Like if they're talking to move in the building, that's what I'm going for. Those guys getting through the door is their thing, but that's what I want to stop, is coordination of security.
All right, you start breaking down coordination. Kyle, you're able to run in. If you can get a stamina athletics diff 8 roll successful, you will have caught up to the other 2 in time to help them.
Bad news.
Bad news. You don't get there fast enough, so it's just you guys grabbing money. So, just stuffing bags, stuffing a magpie swag full of cash as everything's going to hell. However, the spirits, now detecting what's going on the other side, are starting to get a little angry at Cora and the Grecian chorus.
And from the Umbra, I can see where these guys are, right? Like
Yes.
where our fighters are.
Yeah.
I would like to, if possible, using Grasp of the Beyond, spend 3 willpower to try to pull a pallet of cash into the Umbra.
Go for it. You succeed. As you hear, "What in the Uncle Sam's great tarnation is this?" As you see this big, old, burly spirit, partially shaped like a man, though both of his arms are crafted of about several guns, his fingers ending in several barrels, his eyes glowing as he's marching forward. Behind him, an American flag draping behind him as he is the spirit of the bank. His flesh moves and flaps as you notice that his uniform is crafted of American currency, just in various colors to create the red, white, and blue of the flag.
I'm going to attempt to command spirit to stop him, Keegan. I'm guessing his gnosis is 10 or 9?
It is 8.
Oh, all right then. I will spend 3 rage to boost my charisma even further than I have before. Oh, mulligan! Okay.
What is the command?
Sleep. Sleep.
Sleep. Head goes down.
And then, everyone go!
You guys start running. Full of cash. You guys get out. You reconvene. You got the money.
I'm gonna be pulling this pallet of cash probably through the Umbro for a little bit till we get it to like a spot where I can push it like back.
Yeah, you get into the main city area. It's Diff 7.
All right.
Push it back. All right. Now, the city's probably on high alert now. You guys want to lay low?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
How many days? Okay.
Or do we want the money to be everywhere already?
That's what I was thinking.
Okay.
The money starts going everywhere.
Like that's a whole ass pallet. So I mean, just stacks.
Sure.
Can be
Okay, fair enough.
ripped open and thrown everywhere on streets.
That's when we'll summon wind spirits to we'll to just blow fucking money out.
And we'll just be throwing it out the vehicle pretty much. Yeah.
That's what you guys do as it goes everywhere.
We could keep a couple bags.
I mean, we'll keep. Obviously, we'll keep some. We're getting to the poor
for the kin.
We have poor people.
Yeah.
But like here, most of it.
How quickly our ideals fall in the face of money.
No. We already stole from an ATM. I don't need any of this money. This money goes to the people. It's the people's money. They deserve it. The ritual doesn't work. The ritual doesn't work if we take a cut. So
okay.
Give it up. Give it up.
It's supposed to be for the kin, but okay.
Yeah, for the people. The people.
For the people.
Give the people their money.
All right. As you do that, the city goes into high alert still. So you guys are probably going to lay low, I assume, after you spread all the money. How many days are you thinking you're going to lay low?
I think that if we stay too long, that's when security gets stuck too tight. Like, you wait for kind of like initial response, then we should book it. Like, we don't want to stay too long when they start really trying to lock shit down. Like, when everyone's still reacting we still have gifts active. Like, I think less than a few hours, then we should leave.
Okay. You do that. Where are you guys going after this?
Yeah, where's our next hit?
Heading back west, preferably along Route 66, maybe slowly to make sure we're not being followed once we get out of the city of Cleveland.
That works. Sounds good. So
I don't know if we're heading west. You want to go to face the Mount Rushmore?
I thought he said east.
He said west.
No, I said west. If we're heading back home. Because if I'm going to catch Appleton going east, I want to be heading west. And I don't want her to know when she's going to meet me, just that somewhere along her path moving east, she's going to meet me coming west. Because I don't want the good doctor to find me.
Got it. Alright, so you guys start heading west. We'll see if you run into Dr. Appleton and what some of this fallout's going to be, but we'll figure that all out next time. Thank you to everyone who listened. We'll catch you in that next episode. Bye.
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 See you then.